It is one of the most shocking business stories of our time. A man who once controlled a vast empire, hailed as a self-made billionaire, saw nearly $45 billion vanish in a single day. This is the story of Gautam Adani, his meteoric rise, devastating fall, and relentless ambition to control some of the world's most strategic assets, including Kenya's Jomo Kenyatta International Airport. Gautam Adani was born on June 24, 1962, in a small town of Tharad in Gujarat, India. Coming from a modest background, he was the son of Shantilal Adani, who ran a small textile shop. Despite his humble upbringing, young Gautam harbored grand dreams of wealth and success. As a child, he was influenced by the vibrant and bustling trade culture of Gujarat, often accompanying his father to local markets, where he witnessed the art of negotiation and the thrill of commerce. In pursuit of these dreams, Adani dropped out of college after just 2 years in 1981, a bold move that will set the trajectory of his life. He moved to Mumbai, India, India's financial capital, where he began working as a diamond trader. This early experience exposed him to the intricate world of international trade and finance. In 1985, at the age of just 23, he established Adani Enterprises, initially focused on diamond trading but quickly pivoting to import-export, especially coal, recognizing the potential in this sector. By early 1990s, as India opened its economy to liberalization, Gautam Adani seized the opportunity to expand his business ventures into infrastructure and logistics. His big break came in 1995 when he won a competitive bid to operate Mundra Port in Gujarat. This port, which sits on the western coast of India, will grow into the largest commercial port in India, with the capacity to handle over 200 million tons of cargo annually and significant annual revenues. With the foundation laid at Mundra Port, Adani Enterprises diversified into various sectors over the years, including energy, logistics, agribusiness, and real estate. The company went public in 2007, raising approximately $80 million to fund its expansion. By the time of its initial public offering, Adani was already a household name in India, and his fortune was rapidly increasing. By 2018, Adani's wealth had skyrocketed, propelled by India's growing demand for energy and infrastructure. By 2019, he began making a series of strategic acquisitions, focusing on the aviation sector. The Indian government had begun privatizing airports, recognizing the need for investment and modernization. Adani saw this as a golden opportunity. His bold moves culminated in 2020 when he won the bidding rights for 6 major airports in India, including those in Mumbai, Ahmedabad, and Lucknow, effectively giving him control over nearly a quarter of India's airport traffic. This was a staggering achievement as these airports collectively served millions of passengers each year. By 2022, the Adani Group had grown immensely, boasting revenues exceeding $20 billion and employing over 23,000 individuals. Gautam Adani's wealth reached an astonishing peak of $150 billion, making him the third richest man in the world, surpassing industry titans like Bill Gates and Warren Buffett. He was only behind Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos. This rapid ascent transformed him into a global business figure, and he became known as the new king of India. Yet this rise to prominence was not without controversies. In the months leading up to January 2023, rumors began to swirl around about the sustainability of Adani's wealth and the stability of his companies. Analysts and journalists began scrutinizing the Adani Group's financial practices, raising questions about the rapid expansion and whether it was built on a solid foundation. Then on January 24th, 2023, disaster struck. Hindenburg Research, an American short-selling firm, published a bombshell report accusing Adani's companies of stock manipulation, accounting fraud, and brazen corporate governance violations. The report claimed that the Adani Group had inflated its stock prices through dubious financial practices and was involved in massive fraud. The fallout was swift and brutal. Investors panicked. On that fateful day, Adani's stock prices plummeted by nearly 25% within hours of the report's release. By the end of the week, a total loss in market value was a staggering $45 billion. Shares of Adani's enterprises, which had traded at $50 just days prior, plunged to $20. This collapse led to a ripple effect across its other businesses, including Adani Green Energy and Adani Ports, which also saw their values plummet dramatically. Adani vehemently denied the allegations, describing them as an attack on India itself.
The 24th January, we were subject to a massive attack by US short seller. The objective was not just to destabilize us, but also to politically defame India's governance practices.
He addressed the media asserting that his companies were transparent and compliant with regulations. He insisted that Hindenburg's accusations were politically motivated, aimed at destabilizing India's emerging economy. Yet the damage was done. His reputation was severely tarnished, and while his business managed to survive the immediate crisis, the once celebrated billionaire was no longer untouchable as he had been. He became a symbol of the fragile nature of wealth and power in today's world. Despite the chaos, Adani's ambition remained undeterred.
Entrepreneurship is about taking risk and being okay with sometimes getting lost.
In early 2024, the narrative began to shift as he set his sights on international expansion. His attention turned towards Africa, specifically Kenya, as he recognized the potential for growth in this emerging market. By mid-2024, news began to circulate that Adani was making strategic moves to acquire the management rights of Jomo Kenyatta International Airport, which is not only the busiest airport in East Africa, but also serves as a critical hub for international travel, connecting over 7 million passengers annually. The Kenyan government, led by President William Ruto, faced a delicate balancing act. The government had been exploring options to modernize and upgrade its airport infrastructure to accommodate growing passenger traffic. JKIA had previously been managed by Kenya Airports Authority, but the government was looking for partners to improve services and enhance operational efficiency. Adani saw an opportunity. If he could successfully acquire JKIA, it would solidify his influence in the aviation sector and provide a gateway into the rapidly growing African market, which had seen an annual increase in air traffic by approximately 10%. However, this pursuit was fraught with challenges. Concerns about foreign ownership of national assets swirled in the media, especially with the businessman who had recently faced accusations of fraud. Opposition parties and local activists raised alarms, arguing that the handing over of such a strategic asset to a foreign conglomerate could jeopardize national interests and impact local businesses. There were protests and calls for accountability, with some accusing the government of being too lenient with foreign investors. The situation was precarious, and Adani was acutely aware that he needed to tread carefully. In the face of this skepticism, Adani understood that he had to demonstrate commitment. The Adani Group assembled a team of local experts, including former government officials and industry veterans, to navigate the complex landscape and win the hearts of the Kenyan people. Their strategy included highlighting Adani's previous successes in India, showcasing how his investments had improved infrastructure and created jobs. As part of the negotiations, Adani proposed significant investments to upgrade JKIA's facilities, improve passenger services, and increase cargo capacity. The plan involved pledging up to $500 million over the next 5 years, which detailed proposals to expand the airport's infrastructure to accommodate larger aircraft and enhance operational efficiency. The proposed investment included advanced baggage handling systems, modern passenger terminals, and improved security protocols. Adani's vision was to transform JKIA into a key player in the region, boosting tourism and commerce, while positioning the airport as a central hub for connecting flights to Asia, Europe, and beyond. This ambitious undertaking was framed as not just an investment in the airport, but a commitment to the future of Kenyan aviation. As discussions progressed, the Kenyan government was faced with tough decisions. Some politicians supported the deal, arguing that the influx of foreign investments could modernize the airport and create thousands of jobs. Others opposed it, emphasizing the need for greater transparency and accountability in the negotiations. The public discourse intensified, with debates on talk shows and social media platforms fueling both support and opposition. Meanwhile, Adani's determination to expand into Africa grew stronger. He recognized the continent's vast potential, especially in sectors like energy and logistics. In 2023, he had already begun investing in renewable energy projects across Africa, including solar and wind farms in South Africa and Morocco. By diversifying his portfolio and entering new markets, he aimed to reduce the impact of the turmoil at home in India, where his reputation was under scrutiny. But could the same strategies that propelled his rise in India work in Kenya? Or would he face insurmountable challenges that could lead to another dramatic fall? These questions hung in the air as the negotiations progressed. As 2024 unfolded, the stakes grew higher. Each meeting, each proposal carried the weight of his empire, and failure could have dire consequences.
I have only two worlds: work and a family. And for me, family is a great source of strength. I love to spend time with my granddaughters. They are my biggest stress reliever.
Gautam Adani's story is one of ambition and risk. From humble beginnings to a $45 billion collapse, he has faced it all. His relentless pursuit for success drives him forward, but with every move, the spotlight intensifies. The world watches as he navigates the complexities of international business, the concerns of foreign investment, and the scrutiny of global media. As he sets his eyes on acquiring JKIA, Gautam Adani risks not only his fortune but also his legacy. Will this be the moment he cements his position in the commerce across the globe? Let me know what you think about this in the comment section. And be sure to like, share, and subscribe.